A lot of people ask us about the wildlife here at Save the Chimps, and we do have quite a bit, actually. As a sanctuary, kind of right in the middle of all of these agricultural areas, we're really kind of positioned that a lot of wildlife flock here because there's not the disturbances they're getting in agricultural areas, and we really have a lot of good habitats here. So some of the wildlife you see all the time here are rabbits. We have so many rabbits all across property. The rabbits are used to us. They don't really even run away. They're all over the place, and usually if you're here early in the morning, it's just a flood of rabbits all over the place. It reminds me of Watership Down, if you've ever seen that or read it. We also, a lot of people ask us about dangerous wildlife, and we do. We have alligators, as kind of every freshwater system in Florida does. We do have alligators here. The alligators, by and large, leave the chimpanzees alone. If the alligators became what we would call a nuisance gator, we would call Fish and Wildlife, and they'd recommend someone to come take the gator away. But we really don't have that kind of issue. The alligators keep their distance, and so we don't really have that issue with the alligators. We do have a lot of snakes on property. Most of the snakes that we see are not venomous. Most of them are corn snakes or rat snakes and black racers, snakes like that. We don't see a whole lot of poisonous snakes here, venomous snakes. And we see a lot of really interesting birds. We see great blue herons, we see ibises, we see a lot of moorhens that are all over the property. And actually the really most interesting thing that we see here, and if you're really lucky, you might see an otter. We do have otters in our water systems and not just in our property, but outside our property as well. So it's always a fun day when you spot an otter. The chimpanzees will react to some of this, some of the wildlife. Occasionally you'll hear alarm calls from one island. And sometimes what you'll see when you go there is the chimps are all gathered around, maybe alarm calling at a distant alligator, or even alarm calling at a snake that might be in the cattails. We actually have a chimp named September, she lives on Doug's Island. She's very reactive to wildlife, and once I watched her kind of walking on two legs, very gingerly avoiding a snake that was on the side of the island. It was a rat snake, but she was tiptoeing right past him. So the chimpanzees get very reactive to the wildlife, and it's something that's actually very enriching for them. And one of the things that we pride ourselves as a sanctuary in doing is that they are able to interact positively with the natural elements around them, something that they wouldn't have been able to do in a laboratory setting or in a lot of captive settings, that they can go, yell at a snake or watch a turtle swim or watch birds fly by and actually land on the island. So it's something that creates a fair amount of enrichment for the chimps.